Everybody, we are back. It is Taped Live, favorite is podcast, favorite is channel, favorite is everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mholder95 for Matt, and of course, pandasubs.com, TDL. And we are presented by Dogs Media Network. So we are presented by Dogs Media Network, but it's still taped on live. So you see both things at the top. You see one at the top, you see one at the bottom. We mix it up here. But make sure you guys check out the Dog Media Network as well. So we are back. We mixed it up. We were going to do one by ones, but we're ready to mix it up this today. We're going to do two different guys, offense and defense, like you usually do. You guys know how the show goes. So we're going to be doing that today. It is Laube and DeCamerion Richardson. I think I said that right. I hope I said that right, Matt.
I think you did.
All right. I did. DeCamerion. There we go. From Mississippi State. So we'll be covering both those players today. Not too much other news going on. I guess rookie minicamp started a little bit. I guess
OTAs on Monday when this comes out.
OTAs tomorrow. Okay, Monday.
Yeah,
OTA 7:07. You know, so we're going to get that, see how Aiden O'Connell looks. Gardner Minshew, that quarterback battle starts. Who's right tackle? Where get to see where Dylan Parham is going. Is he benched? Everybody wants to know if he's benched or not. We'll find out. So, I mean, there won't be any hitting or anything, but we'll get an idea.
That is interesting to me. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Dylan Parham is kind of like surprisingly, like I know a lot of people asked, and I saw like JPJ was taking snaps at left guard. I'm like, I feel like people were writing him off a little soon. I know he wasn't like great last year, but he was solid. And then, I mean, guy going into year 3, like Andres Pete wasn't even like going to start last year until Trevor Penning started screwing up at left tackle and Cody Whitehair got benched. I'm like, I got to feel like Parham's going to be the guy. I don't know.
You would think, right? I mean, you would think. And then moving him to right guard is just a smart thing to do anyways. I feel like that's what I would do. So hopefully James Craig and Tom Telesco are smart people and they're doing the same thing, because are they playing Cody Whitehair? Is that because I mean, you know what I'm saying? Who would play guard over him? So I don't think Whitehair is a better player than him at this point in time, anyways. So that's the only kind of thing going into camp right now is that kind of conversation.
Yeah, and I think Whitehair? I think he's mainly been a left guard, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know. Maybe there's mixing things up and trying to keep it get guys reps to other spots or whatnot at this point in the year, since we are 6 months away from the season even starting. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of things that can change between now and then.
I mean, Carter Bradley made some noise, man. Carter Bradley, he made a little noise out there. He had Vinny tweeting about him, say he looked very sharp in the 7-on-7s. We'll see how Bradley shows up. It'll be interesting. I don't expect him to be a starter or anything. It was just I'm kind of excited to watch him in the preseason. It gives me like somebody exciting to watch in the preseason.
I think Vinny was saying like it was kind of like the Senior Bowl all over again. Like he was letting it rip a little bit, and I think maybe made a mistake or two in there. But at least we'll see some deep shots in August, and we'll at least see some quarterback with a little bit of some cojones to go push the ball down the field.
Yes, the huevos.
He's an exciting guy. Yeah. He might throw like 4 touchdowns and 4 picks, but either way, something's going to happen.
It's going to be exciting preseason football. That's what we're hyped about. So yeah, but like I said, not too much else happening. Nothing at all really. Silver Mining is going to be very fun for me tonight. I'm probably going to have to scheme through those golf quotes. I'm going to have to find a golf quote from from Aiden O'Connell or something. And Michael Mayer. O'Connell is always talking about, he's ready for competition. I feel like he says the same thing every time they ask him. He's such a robot, but I kind of like a quarterback like that. I like a robotic quarterback who just, not too much emotion. Yeah.
One of these times he's going to slip up and he's going to let it go, and it's going to go wildfire. Not even going to be a slip up. It's just going to be something generic that someone takes the wrong way.
Yeah, something. Something. He hasn't gone viral for his press conference yet. I mean, all Raiders fans, they schemed the press conference for a quarterback to mess up and say something wrong. He hasn't done it yet. Nothing viral from that shutout from the Vikings. So, he's so boring that they can't even say anything about him. So that's a good thing about Aiden O'Connell, I guess. And then Brock Bowers is with Tom Brady today. So I don't know if you saw
that rookie symposium stuff or whatever that they do in LA.
Yeah, I guess Tom Brady goes or something.
Yeah, they usually bring some vet dudes to talk to the rookies. Remember, that was where Chris Carter's famous Fall Guy speech was from.
Oh yeah. I thought it was interesting that he picked Bo Nix over Michael Penix, though. What was that about? What was that about, Tom? Interesting.
I'm not gonna say. He's also pictured with JJ McCarthy and not Jaden Daniels.
I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. All right. Did Penix turn down? It's just interesting. You picked Bo Nix to have a mentor session with over Michael Penix.
Similar arm strength, so
I guess so. I guess so, man. All right, let's get into Raiders players now. So we're doing DeCamerion Richardson and Dylan Laube. What were your thoughts on DeCamerion Richardson?
I mean, definitely an intriguing dude. I mean, you can just tell that by looking at his numbers, right? I mean, he's over 6 feet tall, pretty long, can run. I think ran sub 4.4, and definitely has a lot of potential. There's a few little things he's got to work on. One of the things, like, do you think he could afford to add some weight? He got better at this as the year went on. But like his tackling, like he'll give up a few yards after contact to some bigger guys and bigger receivers and whatnot. Where I just think if he's 205 instead of what was he, like 195 or something like that, and he's like 6'2", so he's kind of a walking stick a little bit. Where I think that can help out a little bit. And again, it's just a lot of little things, but definitely a lot of traits to like, and a lot of speed that you can really work with. So he's an interesting dude. I like him. I like his game a lot. It's just, like I said, there's a few things like, improving the ball skills that are probably my biggest concern with him. Like he had, I think, 5 PDUs in all of college or something like that. Not very many, if I'm wrong on that number. And like he has one rep, we'll watch it against Malik Neighbors, where he does almost everything perfectly and like is it stride for stride in a great spot. He just doesn't play the ball. Malik Neighbors, it's the difference between a 50-yard gain and an incompletion at the end of the day. Again, that guy's really good, but guess what? A lot of those guys are going to be really good at this next level. So an intriguing dude that I don't think is ready to play right away, but if he can start figuring out a little more of the nuances and getting those ball skills up, then I think he can be a good player down the line.
Yeah, for sure. All right, dude. So I didn't know Dylan Laube. Dylan Laube is a third down back for sure. I think that's one thing that he could do really well. I think he has some elements where he could become a full-time running back if you gave him some more carries. There's some things there. I mean, the film, I did the breakdown for the whole game versus Western Michigan, and he had his offensive line was getting there just destroyed. It was just embarrassing. It was like there's one guy, I don't know, one guy was blocking like it was the 70s. He was using his forearms. I was like, what are you doing, dog? I don't know what was happening in New Hampshire, but those guys definitely aren't playing in the XFL or even the UFL. So it was bad. But when he had a hole, he looked pretty good. When he had a hole, he was able to find it and he was able to hit it. But most of the game, he was getting hit in the backfield like immediately. He'd hand the ball off. It was embarrassing. I felt so bad for him. His quarterback had one of the weakest arms I've ever seen. It was just it was he playing on an FCS team, right? And but as a pass catcher, he could do everything. Like I pulled up a little. I couldn't find too much film besides Western Michigan, so I went pulled up the Central Michigan game for this year. We had 295 yards receiving. Yeah, he can do it from day one. He can do that. He could block, and he can catch. Maybe he's not the most handsy guy. He catches with his chest a little bit. You can get critiquey with that way, but yeah, dude, he's effective, and I think Amir Abdullah, better eat his Wheaties. That's what I would say when I watch that, because he could block better than Amir Abdullah. I know that Amir Abdullah is a willing blocker. I don't know if he's a good one, but he's willing.
Yeah. And I mean, that was like kind of my biggest question mark with Laube coming in is like, can he be a good enough in pass protection? It wasn't like that I didn't think he could do it. It was just that I didn't know. Didn't know. I knew, you can look at the stats and you can figure out pretty easily this guy can catch the ball. Like, I think his stat line, it was an Austin Eckler stat line where he had like 700 rushing yards and like 600 receiving yards. Like that alone, I'm gonna take a guess and say that guy can catch the ball out of the backfield. So yeah, he's probably one of the most interesting guys I think in this draft class, or from a standpoint of just not knowing much about him. And like, dude was super productive for a guy that was a 6th round pick. So yeah, I'm interested to see what he can do. And obviously, the biggest factor that we can pull up on the tape right now is how quickly can he go from FCS to the NFL too. So it'd be an interesting guy.
Yeah, for sure, man. All right, dude. Let's just get into. I'll do some Laube first. Let's get into Laube.
So.
All right, so getting to some Dylan Laube. Of course, we start off with the run game, right? And then we'll get into the pass game. and blocking all that good stuff. So start right here, get a little let me see, it looks like a little counter here. Yeah,
Power.
so make
Looks
sure
like
the
it.
guard. Yeah, a little power. Oh, that's pure power there. Right. You see, just a good job of setting it up and having some great upfield bursts here. Is what I really like about this run.
He went. He didn't even go in the hole. He went where that guard was.
Yeah, I know. It just
But it ended up being
but
right. 20 was crashing hard on there.
yeah, man. So it ends up being some good vision here, seeing it. I mean, even though Josh McDaniels be yelling at him because he went to the wrong hole, but you can just see that the burst he has to the hole though gets a lot of yards here.
Yeah.
Able to break tackles. He's definitely not a guy you could arm tackle, which I like. Definitely a strong runner too.
Would like to see him turn up there instead of floating
Run out of
around.
bounds. I know. Switch hands too. There's a lot of things here though. There, Matt. All right. So here we get a little bit of a split inside zone. What I like about this run too is kind of a little bit of the patience. I think there's a little bit of issue that he has is that he runs out of patience sometimes when he's running. He always tries to make a play. But I like how he found the cutback here on the split zone. Comes back to that C gap right there, or the B gap. Makes the guy miss the open field.
Okay.
Gets upfield there. All right, gets a nice little run. So watch it one more time here. All right, kind of press the hole, see it, find it on the backside. I tell you, when he got some good blocking, man. He looks pretty good, and like in the open field is where he can make guys miss. That's why he could be a punt returner too, kick returner. He
Yeah.
did both that for New Hampshire, so you really see those elements there. All right, here's another run here. Some more, get some pulling, a little power here. What I like is even though 84 kind of misses this block, he's able to make that guy miss, right? And then
Yeah.
he's got the one-on-one with number 3, able to kind of make that guy miss a little bit.
Nice move.
Guy makes a pretty good arm tackle. Yeah, I mean this his elusiveness is pretty damn good. He's very elusive, right? Make a guy miss right there. He has a great change of direction, great jump cut, able to get upfield there. Good chunk of yards. Watch for my time here. Get in there, in and out. You see the jump cut. Get about 6 yards. It's a good run. All right, here we go. Here's another one from Lobby. I just don't expect to see him running the ball that much without injuries to start to start off his career. But this is another good run. See, you got a linebacker coming right through the A gap right here. Yeah. And he's able to make this guy miss, right, and get back upfield super quick. So I mean, this is 2 moves like super quick. This is what's about his elusiveness and his agility, right? See it, boom, jump cut right there, jump back, get 6. I mean, this should be a loss technically,
Yeah.
right there.
That's a nice job pressing the line too.
Mm-hmm. So there are elements of him being a good running back. Even at New Hampshire, he only averaged like 4.5 yards per carry. You just expect him to be a little more dominant. And I know his offensive line is terrible. I highlighted that, but I don't know how terrible they were against FCS. It's just interesting to see these linemen, how skinny they are.
Yeah.
Compared, you know what I mean? They're just tiny guys. Tiny.
And
all right, so
like I was saying, not like and not like built like fit. Like look at the left guard. That's this guy does not look like he's a great athlete. No offense.
All right, so we get a little more split outside zone this time. You see 73, you just get his butt kicked. But I still think that he could have been a little more patient here. I think he chose to go outside. He a little more patient, find his cutback, get some good yards, maybe get 4 or 5, but ends up being really nothing. Yeah. And because 73 just kind of gets his ass kicked here.
Yeah.
Just a little more patience there, but I feel like he already determined he was going outside. So, you watch it again. You guys can see it. So let's really talk about like right here. Like you see it right there. Like this is just patience. Even like this guy's coming back, it's still better than 0 yards. It's still 3 or 4 instead of better than 0.
Yeah, we got the splitter to take care of that guy in theory.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if he would have blocked him or not, but
oh, he missed him. He missed him. That's what I said in theory.
And this is what I'm talking about, because most of his film, watching run the ball, you can just see it. It's like it's a jailbreak. Nobody's blocking. Nobody's getting blocked here. I don't know what's happening, but nobody's getting blocked. Like I think there's not a single lineman that won.
Yeah, this is tough. Whoops.
It's it just wasn't the best time for him, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, maybe somebody's got to pick up the end.
Somebody.
The end that crosses two guys' faces.
Yeah. Somebody got to pick him up, right, Matt? I don't know who it. All right. So pass blocking is something that he's actually really good at. He also does a good job of seeing blitzes. You see him, kind of earlier here, helping the quarterback here, seeing where the blitzes are coming from, helping the line, kind of talking, communicating to who got who. So this is something that he's going to be able to do day one, and I think he's going to make himself known in training camp in those one-on-one blocking drills, right? You see him just pick up 27. You knew exactly where to go, who is coming, gets a good block, allows the guy to throw it into the ground. But he did his job, right? He found the right guy, good block there, right spot. I think the ball got tipped, to be fair, but yeah, that's what he does. He does it really well. You saw him just point out the blitz, step up, make the block. All right, here's another one. Right, sees the blitz, sees it. See him navigating the field. Watch his helmet. See his helmet navigating the field. We even get kind of a little bit of a stunt here on this blitz here that maybe he would have got confused. He does a good job of knowing exactly where to go. Good block there. Gets pushed back a little bit, but not enough for if the quarterback, if the rest of his line wasn't getting destroyed.
Yeah. Yeah, if three other guys didn't win, then yeah, that would have been a great pocket.
Great
guy didn't win.
Right? I mean, it's a good block. Yes, and he's getting a little bit push. I mean, this gets a linebacker, man. He's getting some getting pushed back a little bit, but you see him kind of reset, push the guy to the side. If like I said, what Matt said, if everybody else wasn't getting destroyed, he has a pretty good block there. All right, there's another sack on this one. But we're going to get another good block. Like I said, always going to the right guy. See, he always goes to the right spot. Never gets confused. Right there. Good job getting his head done. Getting a nice little block there. Moving the guy. I mean, of course, nobody else got blocked once again. But still, Dylan Laube did his job. And then that's what we like to see. Said, yeah. Find that right guy. Go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say, this is going to be tough, too, because when these linebackers twist, you're hoping like the linebacker or the center or the running back fall both, like you get 2-on-1. Basically, you get two alignment or two blockers to take care of one guy and one guy rushes free. So nice pickup. Some smarts.
Yeah. Like I said, Amir Abdullah better eat them Wheaties, man. Better eat them Wheaties. All right. So what he does the best, though, this is what he does. I mean, this is the best thing he does. He's low-key a wide receiver. Low-key, okay? Like, I'm not going to go full-on wide receiver here, but it's pretty damn close, okay? You see him, he can do these things where he can just catch the ball out of the backfield here, right? Now, the ball kind of eats him up a little bit. It's fine. He can catch the ball like that, but see him kind of get up the sideline.
Same thing, man. Tightrope. We got to work on that.
Yeah, working on the tightrope, man. Yeah, man. Or maybe just try to get back more upfield. You know what I mean? Like, or try to get some more yards out of that. Yeah, he's not. You're not the quarterback. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, this is what he does well. I mean, he could do this from day one. This is day one, like I said, pass blocking, pass catching. Definitely want to try to get upfield here. He kind of just runs out of bounds. I don't know. Yeah. And he screens. You can throw screens to him. This is what they did. He does a good job with the nice jump cut, getting outside, getting a first down. So I mean, New Hampshire did a good job of these try to find any way to get him the football.
Yeah.
Right, and that's how he made plays for them. He does a good job reading this, getting outside, getting a first down there off the screen, 10 yards. Then you got here versus Central Michigan, get another screen here. This one he takes to the house. So I mean, like I said, like he literally, it could be your like a wide receiver. You could run like 12 personnel and have everybody spread out, do 5 empty, and you could do a screen to him just like this. And this is the kick return, and then it becomes a kick return.
Yeah. He reads and sets up those blocks well too.
Yeah, man. See it there. Yeah. Boom. Go inside, outside, sets it up.
Nice block by that 73. Put him on the ground.
I guess Central Michigan is not as dominant as Western Michigan. and then you can say you can line him up outside here. He runs an out route. See him on the out route there. That's what I'm talking about. He's not really a hands catcher because this ball really eats him up here a little bit. Yeah, but you see all the things he can do though, right? And then he can run deep routes too. So you see him right here in the slot here. This is him right here in the slot. Nice little move right there. Nice little arm over.
Ooh, that's a big play too.
Yeah, man. So yeah, these are the type of things that you could do with him, right? Line him up in the slot, get him 1-on-1 on a safety. He runs good routes. First down. Long play. And then on this one right here, it's the last play I'm going to show here. But this one ends up being a touchdown here. You see him kind of get outside. And then what I like is how he kind of, with his release, kind of this nice little jab step, accelerates. And then what I really like is this ball's underthrown, right? And he does a good job of finding the football, making a contested catch, and bringing it in for a touchdown.
Nice play.
So watch it one more time. It's a good release. And then, I mean, this is versus a corner, man. This is not like a,
Yeah. And a corner that is technically above it, fighting above his weight class a little bit.
Yeah. He fights for the football. Touchdown. So basically, he was the whole New Hampshire offense. He had 295 yards against Michigan. And they almost beat Central Michigan. But I mean, they got their ass kicked by Western Michigan. You can tell by just some of those line plays I showed that they got their ass kicked. But this is what he could do, man. Day one, like I said, you can line him up outside. And what I like, see how he's stacking that guy?
Mm-hmm.
He stacked him, and which allows him to come back to the football because the guy's stacked. He's in rush mode. He can come back to the football, makes a nice little contested catch, touchdown. So, yeah, that is Dylan Laube. Dylan Laube, definitely a weapon that I think has a chance to kind of become, especially down the line, even better weapon for this offense. This offense could really, benefit from that type of player, especially since he can block. I think that's a big thing for him. Kind of getting playing time early on in the season is his ability to read blitzes and see those things. And I think he's able to pick that up really well going to the NFL. And that's a running back coach's dream. Running back coach with a guy who can pick up blitzes, he's going to play. It doesn't matter how he runs the ball. He's going to get in there at some point if you can block and catch the football like he can. And like you could throw a screen to him, throw a check down. He turns it into 10. He's that type of guy. And, we'll see how he is as a runner. I think there's a lot of things he needs to get better at, like patience and that to work on over there. But passing and pass blocking, he's ready to go for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like a lot of the stuff like you were showing, I remember seeing about him at like the Senior Bowl. Like he doesn't run routes like your typical running back. Like he kind of runs like a wide receiver and has a little bit of the nuance. Like one of the things like that I was noticing on those ones where he split out, like he's attacking leverage to get himself square. That's not something that you'll see a lot of running backs do just because they're not used to it and they don't practice it quite as much, obviously. But the fact that he was doing that and like has some like pretty good press releases from what I've heard. So yeah, he's an interesting guy, like you said, on third down and catching passes. So, and I mean, too, like talk about brought it up with the screens, like the one he took to the house. Like it's another guy that's really good after the catch. Another guy that if you don't have a great quarterback that can't bomb it down the field, if he can just catch a screen or something like that and make something happen, that's something that's going to help the Raiders out a ton, especially if they don't have a great quarterback situation. And, anyone can come out there and throw screens. I trust Aiden O'Connell or Gardner Minshew to go out there and just throw darts to the sideline for screens and let those guys work. So, like the collection of guys that they're getting to help their quarterbacks out.
For sure. Yeah, that's the element that he brings, and I mean that's what makes me most exciting about him. We'll see how it goes though, with him beating out Abdullah. I think it's a little different regime, a little bit in my opinion too. I think they're going to be more about who's the best player. It's going to be competitive like that. I don't think it's going to be like how Josh McDaniels with like Brandon Bolden makes the team no matter what. So it's going to be interesting that way to see how that goes, man. But yeah. So any other thoughts on Dylan Lobby?
I mean, like you said, I think he definitely has a chance to make the team. It's going to be an uphill battle. Like if he can do it as a returner, then he gives them a reason to keep 4 running backs or keep him as the 4th running back. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting in training camp because I do feel like him and Amir Abdullah. Like if you hopped in a time machine, I guess what would have been like almost 10 years ago from when Amir Abdullah was at Nebraska, like probably pretty similar to Dylan Lobby. Obviously, different levels of competition. I think Abdullah was a 3rd round guy, but similar styles of player and similar builds too, a little bit.
All right, guys. So we take a quick commercial break, sponsored by Dogs Media Network. Yeah, we got commercials now, guys. We got commercials. We're big time. So we'll be right back.
The Farmer's Dog. A healthy life starts with healthy food. Icy Breeze. Cooler together. Dan-O Seasoning. Yum, yum, get you some. Fanatics. Officially licensed everything.
All right. So there you go, guys. All right. So we're back. And now let's get into some DeCamerion Richardson. Let's get it.
So I got a bunch of clips on DeCamerion. Start obviously with the bad. I will say this play specifically, missed tackles weren't like the biggest issue with him. Obviously, we want to make this play because that ends up being a 6. Being 6 here. He was actually a pretty sure tackler. Like I said a little bit before, his problem more with tackling is the yards after the catch. But like this kind of highlights one of the things that we're going to see. Like one, it's a bad angle and he gets juked on the cutback. But he was like, when he was missing guys and when he was missing tackles, especially in this Arizona game or giving up extra yards, is when he got really high and didn't drop his pads down. And that's basically when that guy's able to run out of that tackle right there and score. But again, he only had like 3 missed tackles, I think, this past year. So missing's not the biggest issue. It's more of if he can drop his butt to get low and prevent those yards after. We'll see a few examples of that coming up here. I think this one's one of the like this one, like, I mean, he makes contact, a yard past the line of scrimmage at the 21. And I think they marked it only at like the 23, but like he kind of gets dragged here. And if you look at it, like at the point of contact, like he's pretty much vertical. And I think that's the stud receiver from Arizona. That's supposed to be a dude right now who's like 6'4". And I mean, I know he's 6'2", but got to be a little bit lower than this and, try and prevent those extra yards.
That's the under the legs guy. Oh, my bad.
What's up?
That's the under the legs guy, that receiver, right?
Which guy are you talking about?
The receiver. He catches the ball, like does under the leg stuff, does like a bunch of tricks. Is that what the guy?
He might be. I don't know. This is the first time I'm hearing of that, but and this is Arizona's stud too.
Yeah.
You see a little bit. This is where I think like some more strength and weight will help him out. Like he's going to go take on. And he does a great job of reading it. He even gets his hands up to take on the block. But like, even so, a little bit here. I mean, he ends up giving up the first here. Like, he reads it perfectly. But I feel like if he doesn't like, when he hits this receiver, he like knocks himself backwards too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And stumbles a little bit and doesn't have his momentum under him. Again, not a bad play. We take 1 yard gains, but unfortunately, a 4th and 1 1 yard gain is a loss for us. And this is a little bit what I'm talking about too. Like, you can see here, like this receiver's like got his pads underneath him, and that's why he's able to get that last little stretch for them there. But again, not a bad rep by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Similar rep here. Again, oh no, this one's the one in coverage. I'd like to see him be a little bit more aggressive. Now this is second and short, so it's not an easy spot. But I feel like he does a good job of like recognizing the slant. Like right here, he knows it's the slant, but we don't get any hands on, and it ends up being a first down. I was being a little nitpicky on him, to be honest with you, but you can see what I'm talking about. All right. These are going to be some rough ones. Malik Neighbors. We saw why Malik Neighbors was drafted so high on in this game. I think Malik probably had 100 yards on him in this game. This was a tough one. But one thing I do think, this is, again, one of the little things, like he's playing with outside leverage here against this little stop and go route from Neighbors, but he's going to end up too far inside and kind of biting on that, ended up flat-footed, got the speed turn on that guy. And I mean, again, that's not a guy you want to be speed turning against because he's going to run right past you. But yeah, so just a few little things like just stay outside, trust your coverage a little bit, trust yourself.
Yeah.
And don't get beat over the top. Happened a few times.
Ooh.
I think this is going to be the same, similar type of concept against Ole Miss. Similar thing. Like he ends up getting lucky a little bit here, bad ball or ball that was late from Jackson Dart here, but like you can see it a little bit. Like he likes to bite on these inside routes and like loses leverage. Like right here, he's screwed and it has to speed turn and get back to it. Whereas like he just stays outside, he'll be in perfect position and trust himself a little bit more. But again, little things.
Yeah,
easily fixable.
It's fixable. It's just sloppy technique, basically. In my opinion.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, BD actually messaged me on a few of these clips, getting all pissed off about it. But yeah. and then he looked at his RAS and was like, "Okay, never mind. I see what he's talking about." See a little bit here too. Like this is what I'm talking about. Like this is a great read. Like he navigates the trash real well. Like this is a nice switch release, like kind of designed to confuse him, avoids the pick. But then right here, we get caught flat-footed. It has to grab on, ends up getting flagged. And it's like, again, like we're almost there. We almost have a complete play here. But just those little things where if he stays on his toes, maybe bails a little bit and gets for more depth, might have a better shot. But what's this one we got? Oh, yeah. This is another thing. Like, we'll see this later. I'll point this out later, too. This is a dig from Brian Thomas, who, again, first-round pick, so cut him a little bit of slack here. But, like, when he plays digs, especially in man coverage, like, he's got cover one right here, right? He's got help over the top. And he, instead of undercutting this dig and being able to put himself in a position to make a play on it, because he recognizes it, he sits on it at about the same time as Thomas is, right? Like, he's in a decent spot here, but he kind of lets Thomas, like, cover him up and tries to play through his back instead of coming underneath here at like the 41 or what is that, the 39, and being in a position to undercut it and maybe even make that pick. And again, he's got safety back here in cover one that can help him out on a deep route. Doesn't, and then Brian Thomas is able to use it, is like basically able to box him out, and he kind of makes Thomas's job easier for him a little bit there. So again, most of that rep was pretty good. It was just that one little thing that he needs to figure out and start playing underneath those routes. This is the rep I was talking about. So this time he does a pretty damn good job on the stutter and go. Now I will say right here, I don't know what the hell he's doing where he like loses him for a second. You'll see a little bit of that makeup speed to come in and be in a great spot here. Like, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but he makes up and he's in a position to be able to make the play on the ball, but he doesn't. And that's where like the lack of ball skills kind of get me a little concerned. Now, again, Neighbors does a pretty good job of flashing hands late here, but when I see a guy that has low ball production, and this is a play where you got to rake hands or
complete that pass.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was a dime too by Daniels. But again, when I see a guy that's got like 2 PBUs on the year, it's tough to give him some slack. Like he's in a spot where he can look up for the ball if he's worried about Neighbors flashing hands late and maybe make a play on it and swat it away, or just rake the hands, and he kind of does neither or fails at raking the hands, and it's a 50-yard gain and a big momentum swing in this game. See it from the end zone view. There's actually a perfect like Getty image that showed it where like he's just missing the ball, and it's just, again, guy that doesn't have a lot of ball production, part of his game that needs to work on. That
was very Devontae Adams-esque with the hands.
Yeah, it was. It was a nice rep. Again, that is the reason why that guy was top 5 pick or top 6 pick. I'll cut Richardson a little bit of slack, but
All right.
now here's a little bit better. Like you can see like the burst to close, like again, much better on the tackle. Like compare this pad level to the other two. Does still end up giving up the first down, but I like the close and I appreciate him dropping his pads down a little bit there to make that tackle. And like his film was kind of littered with these kind of plays. I don't know why, but Mississippi State had him play off a ton and like several yards off and then just close on routes. Like you're going to see one right here. Again, much better close, is a physical tackler, is willing to get stick his nose in there, which I think you like, and I think the Raiders are going to like a lot. Just a matter of putting a little extra weight on, get some more oomph on that, and then being more consistent with his pad level. Like even this one's a little high, but he's physical enough to bring him down. Oh, this was a beautiful one against Brian Thomas. Again, Mississippi State had him playing, I think, 10 yards off here.
Yeah.
9 yards off, so pretty deep. And he ends up bailing too. So that's going to kill you again with the curl route. But come up, make a nice tackle. I mean, again, look at the difference. Like he does a great job of going after Thomas's thigh board and going and wrapping up his knees, wrapping up his legs. That time we gave up no yards after contact, and now it's third and short. Obviously, still a disadvantage, but I will take it. Playing to get off the field on third down. This one was really nice too. This is another thing I kind of like about him is like he's quick to come off his man, and again, you can see him have the speed here. Like this is like obviously who is that the safety like misses the tackle to slow up the running back here. But he came from 10, 15 yards out, made a great close to make this, 2nd and 5? You're not going to see a ton of guys that can have that kind of burst and acceleration. So it's some nice part of his game and where his speed can be an asset beyond just not getting beat deep.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. This one, same kind of thing. This is actually the very next play. Like sits in his zone. The side saddle technique, which not a huge thing in the NFL, but they did a ton at Mississippi State. And boom, just come close. Again, third down. We have a chance to get off the field and on defense. That's all we can ask for. This one I like too, because one, it's a heck of a physical tackle, and two, again, getting a lot better. This is the last game of the season. That Arizona game was like the first or second. So I do like seeing the growth that he's kind of shown in this area. But two, like, gets physical with his man, sees where the ball is, and then comes off his man to come make a play.
He transitions pretty quick. He's
he's good, especially for a taller corner. He's got decent transitions. His lateral is not perfect, but he is like at least decent, especially for those taller corners. He's a long strider for sure. So this is the clip I was talking about earlier with Brian Thomas. Like again, he does a great job of staying in phase. Like you can see the route recognition, like he's dropping and sinking his hips to drive on this route too at the same time as the receiver, basically running the route for him. But again, like had this ball come to him, this might still be a completion because this receiver can keep him on his back. Mm-hmm. And again, he has safety help right here. Try and undercut this. Little things. So that's how you can get those picks and maybe even a pick six with his speed and he takes it up the sideline. So
yeah,
a little bit of what I'm talking about. So again, like it a lot, like 2/3 of the rep. There's just that one little piece that we're looking for. Nice little fluid hips here on this route. Get some in press coverage. Dude does a pretty good job of attacking his leverage. And boom, just flips, transitions. Use the sideline as his friend. But even so, that's another rep where you'd like to see him at some point turn back and either locate the ball or do a better job of ripping hands. He kind of just gets away with using the sideline as his friend to force the receiver out, where I'd like to see him try and make a play on this ball. Like right here, I mean, I guess it's not an accurate pass enough, but like to rake the hands, I don't think he's in a great position to be able to do that right there. The back shoulder kind of surprised him a little bit, but do like the rep, the fact that he's squeezing him towards the sideline. Another rep similar to what we saw before. Again, not something we're putting on the highlight reel, but I like the fact that We're getting physical to get a reroute right here, help out our safety a little bit. What is this? Looks like cloud 3 seam. And then coming and picking up our crosser over here and picking up our man and taking that away from the quarterback. Can't see a little bit here, though. His transition, this was a little bit of what I was talking about with this transition. Sometimes he takes like that extra gather step, like right there. But again, do like his smarts. I feel like he has like pretty good route recognition and pretty high football IQ. I think that's like comparing him to a guy like MJ Devonshire, who I'm sure we'll do later this week, be the biggest difference. Similar rep here. This was the frustrating thing also about that one Neighbors rep is every stutter and go, but that one he played perfectly. That one he stayed in phase the entire time, but for whatever reason, Neighbors just got him to bite on the curl. I don't know. I guess that's why that guy is such a good route.
That's why he went top 5.
Yeah, again, top 5 guy. But,
we skipped past it, but number 4 caught that diving ball with one hand, didn't he? In the earlier prep, I noticed that. You have to go back to it, but I was just thinking about that for a second. But keep going.
Yeah, I mean, that's student number 4, I'm pretty sure is a stud. I think he's supposed to be a first-round pick. So this time it's a little bit different. This time he's more on an island, so I'm not as worried about him undercutting because, right, we don't have the safety. The safety's shifting towards the passing strength. And actually plays it perfectly this time where he's driving and closing on the receiver. Now the ball's behind him, so he's not going to get a PBU here. But I like, too, that he's closing the space and making this a harder catch for the receiver. I think that's probably going to be an incompletion anyway. But I like that he's getting in a better position. And this is what gets me a little bit more encouraged about him and his ball skills, where he can play through the back of the receiver. But again, it's not going to lead to a production here. You see it from the other end, a little bit better. Also, might have gotten away with a little bit of a DPI. Might have been a little early, but I'll take that. We'll take a guy that toes the line. Like you can see it here. Like he actually uses his, what would that be? His outside arm to pin this receiver's hand down and make sure he doesn't make that crazy circus catch or anything like that. All right, we got one more here. Which one we got here? Yeah, again, another stutter and go. Plays it perfectly. For whatever reason, he just wanted to bite against Neighbors. Yeah, I mean, same kind of thing. Like, stays patient on it, honors, respects the curl by breaking down for a second, and then just runs stride for stride. And I like, too, like, he, gets attached and gets physical to force these guys out wide and force them towards the sideline. That makes it harder for Jackson Dart and gives him less room to complete this pass, as well as disrupt the timing of the route, which is part of the reason why it falls incomplete. So, yeah. A lot of things to like. Like I said, Duke can definitely run. That's for sure. It's just cleaning up the little things and staying consistent and just staying and showing the growth that he did towards the end of the year. Like I said, that he got better at with his tackling and whatnot. I think if he gets a little bit bigger, that'll help as well. And he obviously has plenty of speed to give up a little bit. So, yeah. I don't know what it is about Mississippi State having these tall, lean, fast corners like Emmanuel Forbes last year, but whatever it is, they can certainly run. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, they got some speed out there. It is super interesting how he bit on one double move, didn't bite on the others. I don't understand that. That makes no damn sense to me, but that's fine. Yeah, because I mean, those other guys aren't bad receivers either. The one guy, he's probably gonna go first round too. And I don't know why he bit on that Neighbors play, but yeah, I think the ball skills is what concerns me about him the most, is because watching him, and then we'll probably do Trey Taylor this week, right, on the next episode probably. Like Taylor always got his head around. Like it's just like he was always looking for the football. It's like is like his main thing, and that's kind of the difference between a guy with ball skills who doesn't. Because Richardson, I never saw him get his head around that whole video. So yeah, it was, you know what I mean. Like it's one of those things. Like even like Trey Taylor will get to the point where he might even lose the guy he's guarding because he's trying to find the ball so much. He's trying to keep it. Richardson's just so focused on not going to get beat, right? Yeah, and I think that's when you have that kind of thought process, especially in the NFL, you end up getting beat, or you end up getting like what happened with the Malik Neighbors, where he doesn't show his hands and he just writes in it, and you can't find the football. So yeah, that's the thing that worries me the most of anything is just the ball skills. You could kind of see why he didn't have any interceptions.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for sure, that's probably my biggest concern with him too. Honestly, is that is not only the lack of production, but like you said, like the fact that it's not only is it the stat sheet doesn't look the way it should, but he doesn't look for the ball and do the little things right to be able to make or look for the ball or undercut routes and when he should to be able to make plays on the ball. And like Neighbors with them stride for stride, these guys in the NFL are going to be like that where they can show their hands late and you can do everything right and still get beat for explosive plays. That's the scary part. But again, I don't think he's in a position where he necessarily needs to play right away, which is going to be good for him. I think he's definitely a guy that, a year or two project that you hope you can get a starter out of. And again, has plenty of traits and plenty of reason to like this guy. It's just he's not a complete project right now, which I'm not really going to get in the fourth round. If they were, they'd be going on day 1 or 2 easily.
Exactly. Yeah, he definitely looks like a fourth round cornerback. You know what I mean? Like kind of like how Ja'Cory Bennett was a little bit. Because Ja'Cory Bennett could tackle and do a lot of those other things, but he has some issues and coverage and he had better ball skills though. But you could just kind of see, yeah. But you could that's what these kind of corners are when they come in the later rounds, especially there's a big difference between a first round corner and a fourth round corner. It's not like guard or anything like that, so that's what you get. And a guy who needs a lot of work, but just ball skills to me just always just feels natural. I don't know how you develop ball skills,
Yeah, it's tough to coach that into a guy. I'm sure if we're saying it, Mississippi State DB's coach is sitting there saying, "Hey, turn your head around and maybe make a play on the damn ball when you got the number 1, number 2 receiver in the country you're lined up across from." But yeah. So that's the part that worries me is like, is he going to be able to make that switch and flip that switch and be the guy? I don't expect him to ever be like a 10 interception guy or anything like that, but can he at least bat some passes or out of the air and whatnot and force incompletions rather than just being a guy that just stays in phase and stays in the receiver's hip? But that's important too. But NFL, you kind of got to have all of it and put it all together.
Yeah, I agree, man. All right, guys. Well, that's the show for today. We did Dylan Laube and DeCamerion Richardson. Looked at both their games, so go ahead, check that out. I got a whole bunch of stuff in the members section, and of course, we got Trey Taylor, Dylan Laube, Tommy Ekberg, all up on the channel as well. So check out those breakdowns. We'll go deep and dive into Eichenberg and probably Trey Taylor this next episode, so be on the lookout for that as well. And of course, shout out to the Dogs Media Network. Check out all their stuff as well for supporting us and trying to take our show to the next level. So we are out of here, guys. Like I said, hit the subscribe button. If I can find
before we take off, I did want to say before we take off, obviously, I was gone the last week. I don't know if everyone knows. My grandpa passed away on I guess what is it, 2 Fridays ago now.
Yeah.
I just for one wanted to thank you, Marcus. When I texted Marcus when things were going down and his health is declining, without hesitation, Marcus replied and said, "I got it to hold down the fort," and I just really appreciate that. Not only as a partner in this whole thing, but as a friend too, man. I really meant a lot to me, checking in on me and whatnot. And obviously posted on. If you don't follow me on Twitter, posted that on Twitter and got an outpouring of support. Got way too many people, or not too many people. I shouldn't say that. I got a lot of people in my replies. So many that I couldn't go out and thank every single one of them. Would have taken me all day. And I just really want to say I appreciate that, and I appreciate the support from the channel and over on the website on Silver and Black Pride. I really appreciate all the condolences and all the messages. It really helped me out, and speaks to this fan base and speaks to the community we've built here and how we've all got each other's backs. And I really appreciate that. It's, a lot of fan bases out there, but there's only one nation, that's Raider Nation. So I really appreciate you guys. That was awesome. It made me feel better through a tough time. So appreciate you guys. And again, appreciate you, Marcus.
No problem, man. I was good. Hold it down. There's bigger things in football. That's what I always say. So yeah, especially family. Family's always bigger than football. So yeah, no problem for me, man. No problem for me to hold it down. So we'll appreciate you, Matt, for you hopped in. You and BD, kind of decided to leave the show. You hopped in, man, right in, and you took over, man. And now we're rolling. So I appreciate you too, man. So I'm always willing to help you out, dude. So
no problem.
All right, man. All right. So hit the subscribe button, guys. Subscribe. We're out of here. Peace.